Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's doing wonderful this evening. Tonight we're going to be going over Love Has Won. And I might as well just bring my co-host in here.
Can you see it? It's right here in front of me, right now. Watch. No. Good heavens. No, it went through me? It passed right through me. I was, me? I wasn't in me.
welcome.
Hello. I love it every single time.
Well, I need to send that thing over to you so you have it like to use for your own intro. Just doggone it.
Yes.
I think that would be awesome. Where is really weird. I'm not able to see chat. Oh, there it is. Comments went away on me, and then there it is. 'Cause I'm silly and stupid. Everybody, I am co-streaming this over on Caitlin Comments channel. So if you haven't checked out Caitlin Comments, you definitely should go and give her a look see and subscribe to her. Get her subscriber count up. Make her feel like she's loved, guys. Because she does stuff also. All you have to do is just like her stuff also. Jeez. So how are you doing? How are you doing? You have a good weekend? Good time off from everything? I know that you were studying for a bunch of stuff and we're just really super busy.
Yeah, I had 2 term papers due this weekend. Both of them got done on Sunday. No, most of it one of them got done on I don't know. I don't know what days are anymore. I know
Time.
today is Monday. I had jury duty and I didn't get picked and now I'm upset.
Oh, because you wanted to like watch somebody burn, fry at the electric chair. I know how it is. I see you.
No, it was a civil case and it was supposed to last for like 3 days. So I was really excited to get some time off work, go hang out in a courtroom, talk to some people, and no.
Well, and you can always take time off work and go hang out in the courtroom. You don't have to wait for a trial. They don't object to you doing it.
I know, but I want to be a part of it. And I don't think my work would just be like, yeah, it's okay. You can take the day off to go hang out in a court. Like this was like jury duty mandatory. I have to take the day off. So court excused.
Oh, always a first excuse. Well, let's say hello to some folks here. We got T3. Good to see you, T3. Got Xterra Bill. Pleasure to see you. Of course, as always, the lovely Rabbit and Irish. Good to see you also. Let's see. We've got Cool Gamer. Thank you, brother, for coming by. Or sister. I'm not sure if Cool Gamer is a man or a woman, but Cool Gamer, glad to have you here. See, I never know because whenever you see names, like I thought Rabbit was a male for the longest time. I didn't know just because Rabbit is so damn cool. It was like, no, I'm pretty sure that I'm 100% woman. I was like, okay, I don't know. Hey, Melissa Jane. Yes, time is not real. We know that it's just a social construct. And I think I already said hello to T3, but I'll say hello again because she's so damn awesome. And Hal, good to see you, Hal 9000. Man, you guys just come running in here like must have been must have been a beautiful thing that I had going. And of course, oh my most awesome, loveliest co-host from doing stuff with the baker, and she is like a godsend because there's times that I can't be there, and she can actually keep the baker from going off the rails. It's awesome. I've got I won't embarrass her. I won't embarrass her tonight. I'll have to do it another night.
We all need Jamie in our life.
Everybody needs to have a Jamie because you know Jamie. She's like the glue that holds that stuff together. And I mean she doesn't have her own channel, but you can always donate to her eyelash fund because she's got the most glorious eyelashes. Um, but yeah, I mean she doesn't have a channel. She has no interest in running a channel. She's very into what's going on, and if you have ideas, I talked with her for hours after the stream ended, just and next thing you look down, you're like, oh my gosh, time has just flown by, and the stuff we were talking about is like completely random, but how she is on the stream is no different than how she is in person. She's pretty darn sweet.
That's always good to hear. I love
And
it.
yes, and of course, I don't know if I told you this, but Baker does want to do some streams with you. He just your schedules don't work out. I know that he does like a stabber day or something like that. I think it's a Saturday kind of thing. And if you're available for it, just let him know that you're available, and he might bring you on, talk with you, and everything, and that way you can also talk in private, and you guys can figure that out. I think that would be pretty cool. He's a fun guy. He really is.
I know. I'm so excited to get to do a stream with Baker. He's hilarious, and he can just talk my ear off. I mean, I never have to worry. He's a lot like you in that regard. I don't have to worry about filling any silence because y'all are just good at talking.
Well, and I think Rabbit is now a mod over on Shenigrams, which is really cool because Sheni, I don't think she had too many mods, if any. And I was like, I think Rabbit and Sheni would get along really well. They're fun, and I like whenever people meet up and hang out with each other and have a good time. Of course. T3. Hello, sexy mama. Yeah, see Jamie's Lash Fund right there. Jamie's Lash Fund, and she's just cool as all get out. She doesn't get paid to do any of the stuff that she does. And she doesn't really get any benefit out of it. So if you guys donate to her lash fund, you keep her lashes luscious. I won't say what Baker calls them, cum cutters.
He has the best names for things. I don't know if that's just from where he's from or if it's just because he's funny, but I love the names he comes up with for things.
I know him, and the expert does that too. Like he calls waifu cron Wi-Fi Chrome. Just looks at it and goes, "Hey, Wi-Fi Chrome, awesome," and it just moves on. Where do you come up with this? Oh, and speaking of Wi-Fi, damn it! See, now he's got me doing it. Waifu Jess. I was on with her the other night, and that was a really fun stream, and I was listening to her and Jessica. They had Summers on. She's a comic book artist from like North Georgia. Had her on, and her stream was crapping out, like losing internet connection, and they were just like, our host is leaving, and not her fault. I mean, just internet service went down, and they sent an invite, and I went over on Jessica Reloaded's for a little while with Beelhammer, and another wonderful night, because I mean those two are fun. I mean, they really are. And they, the stuff that they come up with is unreal. I mean, why Jess has really impressed me with what she's doing. I mean, like I said, there's so many good creators out here in this space that do like wonderful stuff. And I mean, you got the whole crew over there at MLS Law. They're just, just having a great time. I think I was on there for a stream over the weekend. I don't know. This weekend was such a blur. I moved about a ton of 6x6s. And my wife helped with, I think, about 5 or 6 of them, but the rest of them I was throwing up over my shoulder and carrying them. And of course, there was stain on them. So I got these marks on my arm, and she was like, "Did those make you bleed?" Because it looked like they had bled and were scabbing off, and it was just the stain that was on there was getting on my arm. It's like, "No, I'm fine." And she's like, "Those things are heavy." I was like, "Yeah, but she carried like 4 of them, and she was crying because her triceps were just killing her. She was like, "I can't do this." I was like, I'll just have you come out here and you can just lift these things, for 15 minutes a day. I'll leave one out here." And she's like, "I hate you." "No, I'm not doing that."
No, no,
She goes,
couldn't
"No."
pay me.
She goes, "That's why I've got you. I got
Mhm.
you to lift all the heavy stuff and do the heavy stuff." But yeah, I got the whole it's basically a retaining wall that goes along the edge of my, what do you call it? Oh shit, just pull up a picture. I think I have it here somewhere. But I got that taken care of. There we go. And let me pull this up. Damn it. Yeah, yeah. I'll full screen that. And then present share screen. Share screen. There we go. So yeah, I got that was the retaining wall that I started putting in. So open this in browser. Damn it. There we go. Is that better? Yeah. So that was this retaining wall right here that was getting put in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's three 6x6s tall. Dug out all. This is what I did on Saturday, was plow all that up and got rid of all the weeds and crap like that. And then most of this is just trash that, from doing all this work, moving stuff out of the way, which got cleaned up at the end of the day. But this was towards the end of the day. And yeah, those are heavy as hell. And then driving 14-inch spikes into them with a sledgehammer, that just wears you out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you were
It's
a busy bee.
yeah, that, like I said, that was my Sunday. I was up at what, 8 in the morning, something like that, and just worked until about 7 at night. No, it was about 7 in the morning. I got up and threw on some pair of shorts and a tank top and shoes, and just started pounding the hell out of all these big chunks of concrete, and beating things to death with sledgehammers and moving things.
Do you feel a bit more relaxed, though? Like some of your anger or frustration that you might have had pent up, like, has been released a little bit?
Yeah,
'Cause
how
I
did you
feel
know?
like that's a little cathartic.
It is. It is. It is. 12 hours, 12 hours of beating things with a sledgehammer and slinging, I don't know. They probably weigh about 100 pounds. I don't think they're that heavy. 8 foot 6x6s. I don't know. Somebody would figure it out. And slinging those around all day, picking them up multiple times, set them up on sawhorses to cut them, and then putting them in place. And I mean, yeah, you at the end of the day, you're just like, I have no anger left in me.
Mhm.
I curled up on the swing bed, after, of course, taking a shower, which was awesome, and having dinner. And my wife was like, "Hey, she was like, are you gonna stream tonight?" And I was like, "I am sitting down on this couch and I'm gonna go to sleep. And if I wake up, I'll come to bed. If not, then I'll just wake up out here." And what was it, about 8 o'clock at night, I was out. She said as soon as I laid down, I was snoring. And
Mhm.
I woke up at, I don't know, 11:30, and got up, went to bed, and slept until shit, like 7 this morning. I mean, yeah, almost 11 hours of sleep. Yeah, that was much needed, because there were people that asked me if I wanted to get on and stream last night, and I never even got the message until I came in. I was like, sorry, you can't do it. I'm sorry I missed it. It was awesome. Oh, yes. Yes. So enough of that. What did you do this weekend besides your tests, your papers?
Yeah, just term papers. We went to the fair. That is what we did. We had our little county fair come to town, and my kiddo got to ride her first fair rides, and she was so excited. And we did the Ferris wheel, and she has no fear. This child, no fear at all. But it was really fun. We ate gross fair food.
Well, and here's D Canuck from LC's, remember? He was hanging out back there with us, and yeah, good to see you, D. Really. Yeah, we remember you. We had a great time on LC's. I got my ass chewed out by Caitlin for almost bailing on her and leaving her there at LC's. Oh yeah, she was like, you almost left me there all by myself. You guys are so nice that you would have treated her with respect. I guarantee it. Everyone says, "Oh, those guys are so rabid over at LC's." No, you get someone that's like D. He was a complete and utter gentleman the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like no complaints there at all. And
I had a great time.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen D, go check his stuff out. I don't know what his channel is, because I'm so bad at that kind of stuff. But yeah, D's pretty cool. D's pretty cool. And he says, "Thanks, Jamie." And Fast Group, good to see you. Good to see you. Fast Group's another really good creator. He also has a freeze dried company that he does freeze dried stuff, and he does some training and teaching of firearm safety. And I mean, Fast. Yeah, see, she's got them. She's got some freeze dried stuff from Fast Group. I mean, it's very cool. It's very cool. And well, shit. Why don't we get into this? Because
let's do it.
Have you heard about this lady at all? Love Has Won. Have you ever heard of her?
No.
Oh,
I didn't know that was a name. Okay, now I'm interested.
Her name is Amy Carlson. And what I'll do is I'll just pull up the Wikipedia portion of it because let me see, where is it? Oh yeah, stop that one. Share screen, and we'll pull up the tab. So the Wikipedia probably gives the best description of this lady here. So it was she passed away in April of 2021. She was referred to the group as Mother God. The group has been described as a cult, of course, by ex-members and media outlets. The group had between 12 and 20 full-time members who lived with her at her time of death. And we'll get on to how she ended up dying, which is even more interesting. She was a straight A student in early life. She began to talk increasingly about outlandish concepts such as starships. During the mid 2000s, Carlson developed an interest in New Age philosophy, and she also became a regular poster on the forums at the website lightworkers.org. On the forum, she met Meredith White Eagle, who convinced Carlson she was divine, and Carlson began to claim experience paranormal phenomena. In late 2007, Carlson left her third husband, her children, and her job as a manager at McDonald's. Well, that would make me want to join a cult too, and ceased contact with most members of her family and joined up with White Eagle in Colorado. The group was originally known under the name Galactic Federation of Light. Now, does that sound familiar?
I know that name.
Yeah, you might know that from one of our other creator friends.
Winning reality.
Yes. So this is a very interesting piece that whenever you start looking at some of these people, and this is where Winning and I have crossed over, not intentionally. I forgot that was part of it. And whenever he was talking about it, I was like, I've heard that name before, and I couldn't remember where I heard it from. but that's where they started it. They posted their first videos on YouTube in 2009. So Galactic Federation of Light, Amy Carlson, and the White Eagle is what started that up. And there was a really interesting interesting. I hope it doesn't get me in trouble. If it does, then I'll know. I might get a little bit copyright strike here, but we're doing this because it is transformative content. Okay, so you bastards, you can come after me, but I'm telling you, this is transformative, and we're critiquing this. Okay, so damn it, no copywriting on this, Dr. Phil, you fucker.
Oh.
Don't like you anyway, bastard. So this is her right here. Love is one mother god cult. Now this is about an hour long, and we're gonna stop periodically through it, and we're gonna be saw blinking lights, or maybe it's just me, I'm losing my mind. We'll just go through some of this, and it's pretty interesting, this, because this is her.
Our guest today calls herself Mother God. She is a leader of an organization called Love Has Won, and her members were very excited about her appearance today. Take a look.
Mom did her interview with Dr. Phil yesterday. Something big is happening. She's going to kick ass because all of these people are liars, and Mom's going to be sharing the whole truth.
Well, Mother God, as she is known by her followers, says she has a divine plan to help humanity, but her sister Chelsea claims the group is a cult.
So, what do you think so far? Because
Ooh,
that was
family drama.
yeah. So there is a little family drama there too. Her fam, like I said, she separated away from her family early on whenever she did this. And she's very eccentric, into the new age kind of thing. So Dr. Phil did have, this, he brings up a lot of interesting points. If you haven't seen this video, you can find it, and I'll put a link up for where you can actually watch the whole thing whenever I'm done here. So just enjoy.
And is concerned that Amy has become mentally ill. Chelsea says 14 years ago, Amy left her own family, including her young children, to join a man she called Father God, and is now brainwashing members. Now, Mother God says she can do surgery with her hands, talk to the dead, and has reincarnated more than 500 times.
500.
Okay.
So do you think that she reincarnated from, like a slave girl, maybe a slave man that was nobody or nothing anywhere? Or do you think she reincarnated from a bunch of famous people? What do you think? Do you think some of those timelines all match up too? Because that's a difficult thing to reincarnate. Like, say, for example, you're a particular French leader, and then you're reincarnated as Napoleon, but Napoleon was already alive whenever you're supposedly reincarnated. Don't you think that would be pretty difficult? For example.
Yeah, I mean, no, I totally get this because I am Olivia Newton-John reincarnated.
I was going to say Rita Hayworth, but okay.
No, but I don't know when Rita Hayworth was alive, and I know for a fact Olivia Newton-John was alive during my lifetime.
Yeah,
That's the only
exactly.
reason I went that way.
Did she live? Yeah, here you go. Did she live 4 to 5 years each time? Apparently. Oh, what is that? I think that you two lovelies and Dictionary Diva were a nice chill group to tame Elsie's channel for a bit. So I'd say that to him in person. Yeah, and I mean, I'll tell you, Elsie is a very, very welcoming and bright person. And he is always very sharing with his time and very kind to all his guests. And if anybody comes in there and starts being a real pain in the butt, I think it's not him that's doing it. It's those people that are being pains in the butt that are doing it. And I despise that, because he's not doing anything to hurt anybody. I think he does a lot to help people and boost them up. He always wishes the best for everyone. So, that's, you can call his a little unhinged and off the rails and crazy, but it's all still done respectfully of Lincoln Kane's channel. So, there's that.
Her family fears not only for her safety, but the safety of all of the followers. Take a look.
I believe my daughter Amy is the leader of a cult.
Growing up, my sister Amy was very sweet.
She got good grades.
Amy didn't show any signs of acting different.
Amy was married 3 times by the time she was in her early 20s.
Mate, that's a lot. 3 times by the time you're in your early 20s.
That's a red flag. Or
Yeah.
3.
3. I mean, I could understand 2.
Yeah.
And if she got married right out of high school and was like, that was a bad idea, and then she goes, okay, I'm just going to be single for a while, and sort of moves on, and she's all of a sudden she meets somebody that just knocks her off her feet, and then turns out that they were abusive or something. Then okay, I can understand it. But you would think before you get to that third one, you're going to be a little more discerning about who you marry. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a
No,
thought.
absolutely. I mean, after the first one, that's a red carpet.
Come on, come on. I love it. T3. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Amy had 3 children with 3 different dads.
After her third child was born, Amy became very distant.
She did neglect her children.
Around 2.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough right there. Neglecting the kids. No, I say it's a bad idea.
2006, she started acting strangely.
Amy has bounced around from different states.
She started calling herself Mother God, and she believed that she was God.
My sister is running a cult with a bunch of followers in Hawaii.
She has been in charge.
Oh, in Hawaii. There you go. I mean, what a better place to run a cult, but in Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the downside so far. Hawaii sounds great.
Charge of a group called Love Has Won.
She believes that she has been sent here to save the world.
No matter what's happened to me, I will still stand for love. I commanded all my atoms to come home back in the light.
All of Amy's followers refer to her as Mom or Mama.
Mom is absolutely amazing. She's magical.
I believe that Amy is scamming all of her followers. She has people buy stuff for her and send her gifts.
Your contract.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. If you guys want to buy me a Ferrari and send it to me, I mean, you too can join the rest of the nuts.
I mean, the grift is good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can hate on her for grifting well.
No. I mean, send me free shit. Okay. I'm thinking she's doing the right stuff here. People just being gullible, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Contract is to be conscious. So having the unconscious is saying, I'm failing my contract, mother.
Love is One puts out daily live streams every day. On all the videos, she is screaming, she is cursing, she is demanding people to do what she asks.
My
Sounds like live streamers. Send me your money. Oh my God. Just that image right here of her driving around in a golf cart screaming. I'm picturing that.
I can do that.
Yes. Yes.
Everything is content, right?
You're one of her reincarnations. I see it. I got you now. I got you. You're her 501 reincarnation.
You can call me Mama God. Don't, please don't. That sounded so bad
That
coming out of my
sounds so
mouth.
bad. That sounds so bad and dirty.
That was horrible. I hated every second of saying that. That was bad.
Don't worry, someone clipped it, I'm sure.
Cursing, she is demanding people to do what she asks.
My own light workers battle me, serving love and bringing in a new paradigm. You whores.
Amy calls anyone who is a non-believer whores and retards.
Spiritual ego whores, die. You're not connected to me. You're out.
Amy does seem high and drunk in the videos.
Amy believes that she can give spiritual surgeries, and she believes that she can heal anyone with her hands.
My sister has claimed to talk to famous people as Robin Williams.
I got him, Robin.
She claims that she is Jesus.
Was that like, oh, I thought it was an elf ear on the side of her head. It was just her ribbon or something. So she talked to Robin Williams, and yet she's not any funnier for it.
For somebody who's like all about love has won, I don't expect her to be the screaming, cursing type. You know what I mean? Like, love has won should be a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more happy, a little bit more like come together.
Right
You know?
now, over
Um
me.
Matt sang it too. But screaming and yelling and cursing doesn't I mean, I know it can be a sign of love.
I
Because
guess. Well, she was like spiritual vampires and retards, just like
ego whores.
ego whores. I just don't. Oh, that's just like be nice to people. Don't be a retard.
I don't know. It might be my new insult to people. You ego whore.
That is a pretty good insult. Ego whore. I like that.
Jesus, Marilyn Monroe, Cleopatra, and different people in the past.
Well, they're always
You
famous.
can like tear me down, kill me. I've been killed several times. Kill me!
It does seem like they're following a crazy person. She's not Amy anymore.
Well, Amy, who calls herself Mother God, is here today for her
That's a
first ever
JoJo
television
Siwa
review,
ribbon.
and we're going to talk to her in just a
Yeah.
bit. But first, joining me is Amy's mom, Linda, her sister, Chelsea, and virtually Amy's other sister, Tara. So welcome to all three of you. I'm glad you're here. Let me start with you, Mom. You say this is not the daughter that you raised.
That is correct. Amy is not who I raised.
Were you surprised when she abandoned her three children?
Yes, I was.
That was not something you expected her to do.
No, I didn't.
You didn't see any warning signs of
Nope.
it?
None.
Was she close to her children?
No, not really. Not. She wasn't a very maternal
Uh-huh.
mother. We had the children a lot in our family over to our house.
Right. When was the last time you talked to her?
Probably about a year and a half ago. We had a pretty short conversation.
Okay. And Chelsea, do you think that this is just a big con, or do you think she's mentally ill? Do you think she's too far gone to come back to being your sister? What do you think?
I think it's a combination. I believe that she has been brainwashed. And so I think there's some mental illness there. Sometimes she acts as if she's Amy, and then sometimes she acts like completely different people. So I see that mental illness. I do think she's possibly too far gone to get help, though.
Is she wearing a hospital gown in that picture with the makeup and the glitter on her face?
They'll show it again, but I don't think so. No.
It's just blue and it has like a white stripe on the shoulder. It reminds me of a hospital gown.
It does remind me of a hospital gown. Yeah, I mean, you know, she's. I guess this is her boyfriend or new husband, Father God, or something like that. I mean, they're just making money and just laughing at it, you know. Or you know, well you'll see more information about it because it gets this gets dark.
Okay. So you believe that she believes some of what she's saying.
Absolutely. But I also believe that she rambles sometimes, and I think she doesn't even know what the truth is anymore.
Okay. But do you think some of this is a conscious con on her part?
Absolutely.
Well, that and drugs will do it. And there's, there is a possibility that, she did have a mental break. She was doing a number of a cocktail of drugs. It can really alter your thinking, and doesn't allow you clear thoughts. It's like heavy alcohol use. I've seen that with people that drink a lot of alcohol all the time. A lot of times they can't function outside of having that
Mhm.
alcohol.
And
You know,
I wonder if part of it is undiagnosed postpartum depression. After having the kids, her mom said that she wasn't very maternal, wasn't very connected to them. That's a huge sign of postpartum depression, and that can lead to a lot of issues, a lot of mental problems. So
if it's not
the
addressed,
combination of those, I mean,
yeah,
that's
it's that could do it.
Absolutely. Taking people's money and traveling and using it for her good and the cult's good is
So you
awful.
think that part's a conscious scam? She knows
Absolutely.
what she's doing.
Absolutely. Last time I spoke with her, she said I could come visit her and stay there.
Uh-huh.
But I, of course, told her I didn't feel safe doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
because
would
she
you
wanted you
not
to
feel
join.
safe?
The things that they show on these videos, the abuse, the screaming. I mean, you saw the videos of her cussing and being awful to people. I don't want to be treated that way.
Yeah. And Tara, what do Amy's children think of her now?
I most recently spoke with her oldest son, and he said she's crazy. He knew it would come to a point at one time where she would just need help. He doesn't reach out to her or anything.
Okay. And how about the other children?
I don't think the other children talk to her.
Do they see what's going on the internet? Do they look at these live streams? Do they know what she's doing?
I know that the oldest son and the daughter have talked about it, but neither of them have reached out to her.
Do you know if she's reached out to them to invite them to come visit or to come join the organization?
She's reached out to the oldest son, and I know that they met at one point.
So you talking about that outfit right there in a hospital gown?
no,
Yeah.
so the one where she's got the jewels on her face and
Okay.
like bright yellow eyeliner or eyeshadow. Um, it
Okay.
it looked, I don't know if
Just looked like a
we might
hospital
see
gown.
Point,
Yeah.
and he didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Uh-huh. And what has she told you about her beliefs as Mother God?
That looks pretty
I
behind her,
Skyped her
though.
about a month ago, and I told her I was extremely concerned about her.
Uh-huh.
And she looked at me and laughed in my face and said she was Mother God, that I shouldn't be concerned about her.
Okay. What has she told you about her beliefs?
She believes she is God. She is, over everyone, over the world. We're all her children in her eyes.
Well, we're going to meet her and talk to her and see what she has to say.
That's
Coming
cringe.
up,
Like,
Chelsea says that her sister Amy is drunk from morning until night, which
Hey.
seems like an odd thing for
nothing wrong with that.
God to do, but I guess she can explain that. And she feels like if she doesn't get her sister help soon, that she will die. But Amy says she doesn't need help, that she's the helper. We'll meet her and talk to her about that next.
I was called onto a mission in 2006, and I just surrendered and embraced truth. It's okay. I am God. I am Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, Great Spirit, Spider Woman, White Buffalo.
Spider Woman.
My angels told me that I had to go serve humanity and that I had to give up everything. I did that, and I went to Colorado. Love has won is just the new paradigm that we all can share in unity. I wanted to bring joy, which is reality, and I produce miracles. Kind of like Jesus. I've done over 100,000 surgeries. I healed people of
100,000.
over and over with the power of love. Robin Williams came in 2014 when he died. He's been with me ever since. He talks to me. He's a guide. I have reincarnated many, many moments. I was Marilyn Monroe, Joan of Arc, Jesus.
Jesus.
Humanity's gonna trip about that because they always thought Jesus was a masculine. A mother has to bear children. I have full memory of all my lives. I fully remember being hanged on the cross as Jesus. We're not a cult. Absolutely not. What is a cult? A cult, like, is not transparent. Point blank. I'm transparent.
Some of the other accusations.
Cults. Cults are not transparent. I'm very transparent, and I'm not a cult.
I don't think that's the only descriptive word that we could use to, define cults. But I do think she's super transparent. I know everything about her.
That's oh, she's special. Woof.
Were that you use sleep deprivation as a way to control people.
Sorry. One moment. That's funny. Do I do that? Absolutely not. They're jealous. They wanted
That
to
was
do
scary.
what I did and I've done. So they want to take it from me because they want it for their own. So, but I did it. I am bringing peace to the planet. That's my role. It's my job. And I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, Amy joins us now by Skype. So welcome. I'm glad you're here to talk.
Hi. Love you, Dr. Phil.
So how are things?
I bet so.
They're very peaceful here at the moment.
Yeah. So things are often not peaceful around you because I've seen some of your streams. I've seen some of the things that videos where you seem to be upset a lot, yelling and screaming and calling names and all. What is it that upsets you the most?
Well, a lot of those are taken out of context and not properly represented. However, where the upset comes from me is when as I serve love every day and I am in love in action every moment. That is my role. I've been like that since I was born.
Oh.
Serving love. And a lot of the anger things, I suppose, if you call them that, or is it passion, comes out because I've been raped several times. I've been stolen
Look
from.
at Dr. Phil's face.
They burned my house down. I've been come after so much. And it gets a little, you get a little weary.
That is the best face he's ever made.
That's the look of, you're shitting me, right?
I don't think I've ever seen him look at somebody in such utter disbelief. Like, normally he has a little bit more empathy in his eyes. There's none.
Yeah, he's just like, I can't believe you just said this. Okay.
I've been stolen from. They burned my house down. I've been come after so much. And it gets a little, you get a little weary. It's, keep living the truth and being the truth despite anything coming at me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that that's happened to you.
He doesn't believe it for a second. He's like, yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Now he's trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
It seems like your tone is not always peaceful.
Hey, I think everybody else's advice is, yeah, that's right. There will probably be quite a few people over on Vices because he is doing that stream tonight. It is a very important stream, and if I could reroute everybody over there whenever this stream ends, I'll probably be going over there and checking out Vices myself. So everybody that's here hanging out, checking this out, just know that Vices is streaming, and he's gonna have Solomon Anderson on, which is Zachariah Anderson's brother, and this is about wrongful conviction day. So what are we watching? We're watching crazy people that ran a cult. This is Love Has Won, run by Mother God or Miss Carlson. And this is from Dr. Phil. I mean, we'll get into the meat of it. So there'll be more. There will definitely be more on this one towards the end of it.
With your followers, let you look at this and then you can comment on it.
Kill me! Spiritual ego horse, done! My own light workers, battle me! Serving love and bringing in a new paradigm, you whores.
Oh, wow. That seems pretty aggressive for someone that's leading the world to love. That seems counterintuitive. You'll have to explain that to me.
I agree with you. It was taken in a moment where a lot of things were happening to me, and I was upset, and I that's how I expressed it.
Coming up,
you have 3 children locked in. Now you have 3 children, correct?
Yes, I do.
And
lovely woman, is she single? She's very single and very dead. Yeah, trust me, you ain't gonna fix her. We'll get into her death too. That's an interesting way she died too.
I can only start to guess.
Those children when they
Wait, what does that say? Whatever happened to fat guy biking across America? I just saw that. That's pretty awesome. I guess maybe we'll follow up on that. Whatever happened to the fat guy biking across America? We'll have to check that out.
Did you see T3's comment?
He'll be coming back around soon. Yes, she's good at reincarnating. She's good at reincarnating. Yeah, I'm writing that down because I'm going to cover that guy biking across America. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to check that. Across America. I don't know what happened to him. I didn't even realize it was a fat guy biking across America. Was he motorcycling or bicycling? Because if he's bicycling, that would make an interesting one because that gets you lose some weight. Then he wouldn't be a fat guy.
Maybe that was the goal.
Maybe it might be like
he's skinny by the time he hits the other coast.
Yeah, he's like the Forrest Gump of bicycling.
They were 2, 7, and 12, and just up and left them. But yet you call yourself Mother God. How do you explain abandoning your children?
Ooh.
For me, I did not abandon my children. I begged my angels not. I didn't want to leave, and they told me I had to go on mission. If I didn't do it, then no one else would, and I had to make a jump, and I had to make a decision.
So just a higher calling.
Yes, absolutely.
A higher calling.
I gave over all the papers to their fathers and said, "Thank you for taking care of our children. I appreciate it." And I left on mission. Did my heart break every day for about a year?
For about a year.
Well, I need your help explaining something for me because your mother.
And then she was over it.
I'm sorry. It was my heart was breaking for about a year, and then just was like, yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Oh, Jeez.
You said that you were never really maternal, and I'm really curious why you locked a child in the closet. Take a look at this.
3. Oh my God. You want me to get to 3? I'll put you in timeout. I don't have a problem about that. Okay. Timeout.
Just so you guys know, I don't condone any of this action, and this might be disturbing. So if you're triggered by this kind of stuff, pause for the next 30 seconds, and then you can skip forward. So this might be disturbing to some people. Just heads up. I don't know because I hadn't seen this. I haven't rewatched it. I figure it's safe enough for TV, but it still could be triggering. So don't be triggered.
You got the timer, 2 minutes?
Yeah, I got it.
Show my phone. Are you ready? Come on.
2 minutes later. So it was like 2 minutes. You just sit there and listen to kids scream in a closet. I don't know. That's rough. That's pretty damn rough. I don't think I could go for that. I mean, I've seen, my niece and nephew, they've had to stand in a corner and it ends up being like a minute. To them, it's like an eternity, and but yeah, don't hit your sister. That kind of stuff. So it's like, don't talk to your sister like that. Don't hit your sister. Go stand in the corner, or he'll go, you know what you did. And you would just go over there and stand in the corner. And sometimes if they're both fighting, he'll just give them that look and do you know where you need to go? And they'll just go over and stand in the corner. They'll get real quiet, and then they'll come back. I'm sorry. It's just like, oh, and your heart breaks. And they're not there for very long, but you can tell they're just like, oh my God, this is forever. It's torture.
There's a difference in like timeouts. We have a timeout stool that my kid has to sit on, but we don't lock her in a closet for 2 minutes just screaming uncontrollably.
Yeah, that we find out why they're screaming. That's rough.
Let's stop
Come
now.
here, Ogden.
Thank you, buddy.
Mother.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Go to mother.
Come here.
Go to mother.
Come here. Oh, you want to do the one? You want to do it over again? Up, back up.
2 more.
Yep. Out. Time.
Apparently the kid knows. Kid's like, I don't want to be around this. Like, please don't put me in her arms again.
Out.
Yeah.
Yep. You're not listening.
Now the kid's just having fun. I heard that laugh. Like,
I've got something to say to that. What do people
They better listen.
4 minutes later.
Okay, we can let him out now. See what's going on here.
Turn on the light.
All right. All right. You need to surrender.
I trust what's real. She's real. What's tangible. Right? She's right what I can.
Surrender. Now.
But I'm
Surrender
right.
now.
Oh, Jesus.
You want to go back in time out? I'll just 1, 2, 3 game. I'm not kidding about that.
That kid is a kid that's like, I do not want to be around this person. Like, I don't know, kids have that kind of internal thing that something fires off where they're just like, no, there's something weird about you. Get away. And I've seen it around other people where, kids are just, they're like kids are completely frightened of them, don't want to be around them, and sometimes it's just because they're shy. So it wouldn't matter who it was. It would just be anybody coming into like their home or something like that they're going to sort of freak out a little bit. But once they get to know, they're sort of chill. I mean, one of my friends' wives, one of my wife's friends, thank you. One of my wife's friends has a severely autistic child that is really, he's like nonverbal and waves his hands. And the first time that my wife and I came over, he completely lost his shit because it was, this new group of people and like freaked out.
Right.
And then once he came over and started hanging out, and I gave him like positive attention. He was like completely chilling. Now anytime I show up, he's just like, oh, jumping up on my shoulders because he likes to get on my shoulders. He's getting too big for it. I can't carry him around anymore. But he would just ride on my shoulders and like tap me on the head, not hard, just tap me on the head and kick his legs, and just because it was fun for him. But whenever he first got there, even with my wife, he would strike out. It was like, okay, they were like, no,
Yeah.
just give him a little bit, he'll be fine. So that's my wheelhouse. Kids, they always know. They always know. Nonverbal on the spectrum. Yeah. Yeah. Nonverbal on the spectrum. It's rough. It's rough for the parents. Yeah. Sorry. Hit the wrong key.
Um, I'm sorry. I need you to help me with that. Explain that to me.
I will help you with that. What was happening in that group dynamic is that these children came to see me, and they're in their environment. They were very dysfunctional. They hadn't been disciplined, and I feel that's the majority of humanity hasn't had discipline, and children have to have boundaries. So what was happening is that they didn't have any boundaries. We started coming up with ideas of how to assist them. One of my ideas was, just whatever their age is, just 2 minutes of timeout. And if they can't, get it, then they go back in timeout. I mean, screaming behavior is, why are they screaming?
Well, it didn't seem like kid was screaming until he was in her arms. Like kid was pretty chill until she was like, okay, come surrender.
She needs to listen to her own advice and go take a 2-minute time out in the closet every time she rants and raves on camera.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why are they out of control? And I was assisting in that situation with the mother and the father.
Well, that's just
Notice that little look off the camera. She got someone there coaching her on stuff to say or expound on.
that's flat out abuse to lock a child in a closet like that. And what really bothers me is not the poor judgment that I see on your part, but the fact that I'm looking at 5 or 6 or 7 adults in the room, and not one person in the room has the backbone to stand up and
Is the man on the bed naked?
I think he's probably wearing shorts, but it looks like he's like either getting ready to roll some weed or do some drugs. I mean, it looks like they're all like just tweaking out. I mean, it's just weird.
This is not a good environment.
Yeah, whenever I saw that, it just didn't seem normal. I mean, you noticed that too, because I was sitting there going, "This dude over here." Like at first, I was thinking, "Ah, he's naked," but I don't think he is. I think he's just wearing shorts. Because isn't he the one that got up and carried the kid and put him in the closet?
I don't think so. I think that's a second guy because I think the guy who puts him in the closet has more hair.
Okay, well,
say, this is not okay. You're not going to bully
Maybe
and
though.
abuse
I don't
this
know. I wasn't paying close enough attention.
yeah, that's why they're 70 pounds apiece. Yeah.
child and traumatize them by putting them in a closet with a closed door like this.
What we were doing is experimenting
on
a child.
On a child, yeah, you don't experiment on a child, and I did recognize you earlier, but hello, Jude, good to see you.
Hey,
Jude.
Don't get me started. Get all these, get all the ladies swooning. I sang Elvis one day during the stream, and all of a sudden it was just like, okay.
Not in the middle of this. This is a weird time.
Yeah.
They weren't locked in a closet. They were put in timeout, Dr. Phil.
In a closet.
Timeout.
In a closet.
Yeah.
With a closed door.
Well, they were in dark so that they could focus and center on themselves. And we put an adult there with them.
That look on his face is put an adult in there with him. That's creepy.
Oh, you didn't?
No, she didn't. But Dr. Phil's look is Looks like a little, like, troll or something with those ears. It's the shape of his head. It's funny.
There was an adult in the closet.
See, now you're gonna be looking at his ears. I'm telling you, you'll be looking at his ears.
Of course.
I don't believe that.
He called it. Children generally don't look good in the dark. Thank you. Go ahead, Shizzy. Caitlin, sing to me if you want.
You can ask the mother.
Yeah, coming up, Amy has many devoted followers who say
I was
Mother
a
God
believer
is
for a
healer.
second.
We'll meet two of her followers.
Look at her, that look on her face.
Many devoted followers who say Mother God is a healer.
That look of just like, asshole.
We'll meet two of her followers next. What is Mussie's devoted members of Love Has Won, Hope and Aurora, speak for hours daily online about
I bet
Mother
those are
God.
their real names.
What was their names? I didn't catch them.
Hope and Aurora.
Strippers. Because you always hope. And I bet the other one's last name is Borealis.
And in fairness and balance, I wanted to give an opportunity for people that support Amy to have their voice as well. We've heard from family members who think she's not Mother God and don't support what she.
Hey, Jariah, good to see you. It's a pleasure.
Hello,
Thank you very much for
hello.
coming by. And also, we are co-streaming this over on Caitlin, so make sure that you guys go over there, give her a like and subscribe to her. And her stuff is pinned over there up on the top, so go check her out.
Thank you, Shizzy.
Sorry, I had a cough.
She's doing. And so they're going to join us now via Skype. So Aurora, Hope, thank you both for being here and being willing to chat.
An honor to be here. Thank you for having us.
So you believe that Amy is Mother God, correct?
Yes, we know so.
And what is Mother God to you?
She is everything to us.
I mean, what does Mother God, do you believe that she is God?
Absolutely.
So you spend the day in the presence of the deity, of God, the creator of the universe.
Yes.
That must.
You're muted.
Sorry, that laugh right there just was, it was like, you guys really believe this shit kind of laugh. Watch.
God, the creator of the universe.
Yes.
That must be an amazing experience for you.
It has been, and yes, it is.
Okay, and she has said that she's done over 100,000 healing sessions, including spiritual surgery, where she can take a brain out spiritually and heal the brain and then put it back in the body spiritually. I mean, she's not saying she actually physically takes the brain out of the skull, correct, Amy?
Yes.
Over 100,000 times.
Yeah.
I've done it over 100,000 sessions. Yes.
Okay.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
Yeah. I mean, Caitlin, I have removed your brain spiritually. I have fixed it and I've put it back. You're welcome.
I hope somebody does.
I mean, it was so fast you didn't even notice it. And I've done this over 100,000 times.
I trust you implicitly.
I wiped all those dirty thoughts out of there while I was in there. Damn it, Caitlin.
That must drain you something terrible.
It takes a lot of work, but I have a lot of energy.
As she lays back on her pillow in between, because she was laying back, and as soon as she knew that she was going to be on, she jumped up and was like, ah.
She has a lot of energy because the kids she abandoned aren't sucking her soul and her energy out of her.
That could be. Don't worry, Jariah. Already found it. There it is. I fixed it. You're good to go. You're good to go. Sorry.
And,
Despite my condition.
and how long does something like that take?
Anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, depending on what I'm.
That's a. So she's done over what did she say? 100,000, 10,000?
100,000.
Okay. Well, I mean, figure this out. 100,000 times 20. What would that be? 2 million?
Oh, I was just gonna do by the hour.
Yeah. That's probably longer than she's been practicing her soul sucking ways. Because this was in 2008, I think, for this interview, something like that. 2010, somewhere around in there.
And Hope, Aurora, have y'all been there for this? Have you seen these miracles happen?
Yeah. We have seen it, yes.
Yeah. Now, she's been involved in this organization, Love Has Won.
Thank you, Rabbit.
Goddess Gaia, formerly known as Caitlin Collins, is dual streaming, so give a like and subscribe. Love it. Oh, I just love that. That's awesome. Thank you, Rabbit.
Is the best.
For 15
Oh my
years,
gosh.
and Mother God, I guess, for 12. So if she's done over 100,000 of these,
Oh, he's doing the math.
that would be 6,667 a year.
Wow.
555 a month. That would be 18 times a day, 365 days a year without ever missing.
You can see her just.
Yeah, that sounds right.
In 20 minutes, it would take her 3.8 years to do them nonstop. See, I'm not good at math. Just using. Stop putting words in Rabbit's mind, Caitlin. Shame on you. At 20 minutes, it would take her 3.8 years to do them nonstop. Yeah. God.
So are there 100,000 people that she's encountered that needed this?
Well, we haven't been here with Mom for 14 years, but from the 2.5 years that we have been here, I mean, she was doing up to more than 30 surgeries a day, just that we were physically speaking to the people she did the surgeries on, and all have amazing testimonials. They have witnessed and experienced the miracle. And that's just the nuggets that we have spoken to. And she's done thousands and thousands more of being way before we ever even joined Mom.
Amy, that's got to wear you out.
It did eventually, because now I'm paralyzed, but I still can do.
I didn't hear that right. She said she's now paralyzed.
Wear you out.
It did eventually, because now I'm paralyzed, but I still can do the surgery.
Not like she said she's paralyzed. Okay.
Are y'all aware that she says that she's actually Jesus? That she's reincarnated from being Jesus?
Okay, you heard it too, T3. That's why I thought she said that she was paralyzed.
Can't she just fix herself?
She is. We'll get into that later. Okay, so she is paralyzed. There's a reason for that.
Yes. She has the documentation.
And remembers hanging on the cross.
She remembers that lifetime, yes.
Yeah. And Amy, you say you recall 534 lifetimes, correct?
That's correct.
If those lifetimes averaged 50 years each, that would be 26,700 years. It was 30 years each. That would be 16,020 years that you've been alive.
Yes.
We're 2020 years since the birth of Christ. So 14,000 years you've been on this earth before Christ.
That's correct.
It's no wonder you're tired.
That's actually.
Yeah.
She
Does
never
it
did the
strike
math.
y'all odd that she drinks so much?
No. I mean, you have to envision that she is the embodiment of Mother Earth. So if you were to meet Mother Earth in a physical vessel, which is mom, she is in extreme amounts of pain.
If she's God, then wouldn't she just resolve that pain
That was Caitlin's question.
spiritually?
She can't. It's based on a karmic contract with humanity.
What do y'all have to say about that?
I don't believe any of it.
I don't either.
Coming up, Amy says that love has won. Is that says Jimmy?
I do odd to see someone frail in a bed.
That one, that picture is
Maybe
the one I was
Mother
talking about.
I guess it could be a hospital gown.
I
But
don't
she
think
is-
it is,
But she's
but it looks
paralyzed.
like it.
She is paralyzed and in a bed at this point.
Former member Ashley says she fled Love Has Won without any of her belongings after she finally reached her breaking point with this group. Take a look.
I first
Wait, did you see that? Women exposed as Karens fight back. All new Wednesday.
With this group. Take a look.
I first learned about Love Has Won through an online Facebook page. I made the decision to go and visit them. When I got there, it was a beautiful ranch. Amy's the main leader. I did believe that she was God while I was there. And the first day I was there, somebody was sent away. So right off the bat, I was a little confused about what I was getting myself involved in.
That's what she looked like when she went in.
I was
Now, this is what she looks like after. Big change.
told that I was embodying different lower energies and that I had to transform them. You had to follow all of the rules. You stayed up till at least midnight. You wake up at 5, no exceptions, every day. You're not supposed to sit. They claim that if you weren't in motion, that you were taking energy from Mother God. You'd have very limited sleep. I do see it as an attempt to brainwash. It was sleep deprivation, mental manipulation. I was not allowed to see Mother God the first 2 weeks that I was there. They claimed that I had to reach a higher vibration of energy before I could visit Mother God. When I did go in to see Mother God for the first time, it was
Started call it the Karen Elective. That was awesome.
It's odd to see someone frail in a bed in front of you. She says that she's paralyzed. She had been carried from the bed to the toilet. She never left her room. I do feel Amy has a drinking problem. She consumed beer all day long. Amy would perform what she expressed was an etheric surgery. She did claim that she could remove tumors, kidney failure. She would gather funds through performing these surgeries. I've heard talk about money in certain accounts. I was blown away. She claimed in one of them was over $400,000. And another one I heard was 100,000. I do think Amy's running a scam. 2 months into being with the group, I left all my belongings behind. I kind of made a quick getaway. When I got in the plane to come home, everything hit me all at once, like a ton of bricks. Wow, this is not what I thought it was going to be at all. It's way more extreme. I feel this is a dangerous group to anybody's mental health.
Well, Ashley's joining us now virtually. Ashley, tell me this. What
looks better
were
there.
you looking for when you went to join this
Yeah.
group to begin with?
They were looking for peace and unity and love on the earth, especially during these times. And that was something that I resonated with.
Why did you feel the need to leave quickly, leave all your belongings behind, and bail without notice?
Well, once I realized that they were using mental manipulation and sleep deprivation, things like that, pitting other of us against each other, I realized that it was something that was going to be more mentally straining for me to stay and tell them, hey, I would like to leave. I felt like at that point, since I had been there with sort of my family, that it would have been easier for me to just make a quick getaway and not tell anybody, because once you leave, a couple of the members that have left ended up in danger.
Ended up in danger how?
I know one of the members ended up being found near death.
How long were you there?
I was there for about 2 months.
Oh, 2 months. Uh-huh. And did you meet Amy while you were there?
I was able to see her a few times throughout my visit. It wasn't very many, but it was a few times.
Amy, do you use sleep deprivation and mental manipulation as is being said?
What do you think her answer is going to be? Type ones in the chat if you think she's going to say absolutely, or type 2 in the chat if you think nah, she would never do such a thing. I'll give you about 10 seconds. What do you think? She says it. She doesn't say it. Oh,
Here.
Sonny, you gonna wake up and serve God, or you gonna go to sleep? Yes.
Ashley, is that the kind of thing you're talking about? Amy, do you use sleep deprivation and mental manipulation as is being said here?
Absolutely, that is incorrect. Do I have boundaries?
everybody's like two. No, never.
For energetic, and both team can adhere to them or not. There's no like you have to do that.
Let's see what Amy thinks about this footage.
Sonny, you gonna wake up and serve God, or you gonna go to sleep? Yes. Yes, what? Serve God. Really? When? When you choose?
Today, as soon as I'm
Sometime today?
as soon as I'm up, yes.
Okay. Well, when are you gonna get up? Because everyone's up. We never went to sleep. Why are you sleeping? You had your hour, and then we got you up. Like a new day. This went back to sleep. Oh, wait till Mama hears what happened here.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Oh my gosh.
You know what's sad is I think I knew people like back in this time who, if they had lived in this area, would probably have followed this cult.
Yeah. Yes.
Ashley, is that the kind of thing you're talking about?
Yes. Whenever we were supposed to stay up past the midnight, it was kind of a big deal if you were falling asleep, or if there was something that if you were getting tired, you'd end up being berated for it, as you saw in that video.
Yeah. Amy, what's the purpose of that?
It's energetics and it's consciousness, and a lot of beings are not utilizing their sleep properly. So I just set up boundaries so that everyone knew that, and they all take naps.
Uh-huh. You say that you're paralyzed now, correct?
That's correct.
So you can't.
And I have 5-stage level of cancer as well. 100% full body.
You have stage 5 cancer.
Yes.
And what is stage 5 cancer?
That's to the bones.
You can't heal that?
Sadly, I know now. I know people now who would fall for this. Yes. And definitely, Caper, thank you so very much for coming by, subbing up and checking it out. We try to do this every Monday just as a good introduction into the week, because I mean, how can you not start a week without a cult? I mean, come on. So seriously, thank you so much for coming by and subbing. It's wonderful to have you here.
I have made all my attempts to do that for myself, and that's why I'm here in Hawaii, to really focus in on that and do that for myself.
Uh-huh. Coming up, a woman says her husband abandoned his family, a 6-figure job, and donated more than $10,000 to Love Is One, all to end up on the brink of death. We'll talk to her about that next.
Ooh. Lots of breaks.
We have a whole lot more to cover with Mother God. Tomorrow, we meet the family of one follower who claims he was left for dead in the mountains by members exposed. What is he calls it is exploiting narcissism. Tomorrow. Part by Love is One, and their actions are the opposite of the peaceful healing which the organization preaches.
4 months ago, my husband.
I was
found
gonna
me
ask about that. I
online
didn't want to
and went
sound dumb though, but I thought there was only stage 4 was like the worst.
spiritual mission trip.
Yeah.
The leader of Love as One is Amy Carlson. When I saw videos of her, she seemed intoxicated or high on drugs. When my husband got there, he was put to work. They have rigid schedules with minimal amount of sleep allowed. My husband was there for 2 days, and during the live stream, they mentioned that he had been left on the wrong side of the mountain, that his energy was not compatible with them. We realized something was wrong. We immediately made contact with police.
It was an entire day of a rescue mission.
I was thinking that my husband was dead. He was found wandering in the wilderness, disoriented, confused, and naked, and was arrested while trespassing on private property.
We believe that
Oof. Hey, I'll tell you what. I will take being arrested on private property, naked and confused, than dead any day. I mean,
Absolutely. Oh my
just
god.
saying that's a harsh way to leave somebody.
he was drugged with hallucinogens and abandoned in the mountains.
Since my experience with Love as One, I dealt with a lot of anger and hatred for Amy Carlson. I really resented her for luring my husband into something like this.
I believe that they are a dangerous cult.
Well, Amanda and Arian join us now virtually. And guys, you've been listening to everything we've been talking about so far. What would you like to add to the conversation?
I think that Ashley and Lauren, because that's how I know the two young ladies that have joined, their names are not Aurora and Hope. I think that they're doing a great job at not being
Called it.
forthcoming and truthful
Called it.
with how they typically display their acts of love for humanity publicly on social media. I think that Amy is a victim of her own web that she's created. I don't think that she's in full control of this group. I think she's surrounded by an entire team that's enabling her. They are profiting and exploiting her for financial gain.
Do you think it's the whole group around her? Or do you think it's all of them together? Like maybe she's mentally ill and the people around her are notice that she's mentally ill, but a good way to ride the cash cow.
No.
Well, you did see her turn and look at somebody off camera as they said something to her, or
Maybe Father God is who I'm thinking is like pulling some of the strings and he's got a lot to do with it, but I don't think her followers are sitting there like pulling money from her because I don't think she'd be okay with that.
she may not even notice it just as long as she got her drink and her drug.
That's true.
There is definitely a huge brainwashing component after my brother surrendered for their spiritual surgery, which, mind you, Amy does not complete that spiritual surgery herself.
Jacob Castro. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hello.
What's up, savages? Awesome.
It's actually a phone call done by one of their members, some of them that are very new, that follow a guide. I think that that's where the brain programming, the mind control starts. We've spoken with multiple leading cult experts. We've learned a lot about undue influence. So there's a lot of different concerns with this group.
And how did your brother get involved?
He found this group also online. He is a conspiracy theorist. And so he believed their conspiracy that we are ascending into this 5D earth. And he truly did think that this was a spiritual mission. And so he was there and ready to, what he believed, save humanity.
Yeah, and Amanda, you say that ultimately he was found really in dire straits, correct?
So his experience was very short, thankfully.
Not me.
We have a lot of information about Love Has Won that's on the internet, so we were very prepared that this group has a history of leaving members who want to leave in the middle of the mountains without any belongings. He was introduced on one of their evening live streams as extremely happy, very confident, very healthy looking, clear minded. The very next day, is where we realized that he was in danger. He called my mother saying that he was on foot. He was coming home. He was on his way to the airport. However, the airport is a 3 to 4 hour drive away. That evening is the evening live stream where this group then laughed and mocked him that his energies didn't mesh well. You can't tell mother no that you want to sleep. You have to cut all ties. So we realized that he was in danger, and then that following morning is when we started our rescue day.
I told him that, I believed it was a cult.
How quickly did it start to unravel?
When he didn't call, that's when I knew something was wrong.
To me,
You got
in the wilderness, disoriented, confused, and naked.
Arian, how is he doing now?
He is a victim, so recovery doesn't happen overnight, but he is doing a lot better.
Yeah, and what was his frame of mind when you saw him when he was rescued?
When he was rescued, he believed that he had ascended the planet and that Mother God had ascended and we were in the fifth dimension. He was actually really confused because police and hospital staff knew his name, and he believed that was because of the fifth dimension. He didn't realize it was because my sister-in-law and myself and the rest of my family had been calling and asking about him. So everybody in Colorado knew his name.
Yeah. When he actually got there, how quickly did it start to unravel?
He was in contact with me and he was in a very optimistic place while he was there. He had made a deal to call me, FaceTime me so he could speak with our son that night. And when he didn't call, that's when I knew something was wrong.
Had you looked at any of these videos that he was looking at?
He had sent them to me over Facebook Messenger and I had viewed them and I told him I did not resonate with them. It seemed like, to say it nicely, hippies on drugs. And then I told him that, I believed it was a cult.
Is there anything you want to say to Amy? I mean, she's here, you're here.
I guess, Amy, I love you and I always will. But I cannot believe anything that you're doing. I don't believe in it. I'll continue to support your children and help your children because they're my life and you're not anymore.
All right. Thank you.
Linda, is there anything you want to say to her?
Well, Amy, I love you. You know that. I've loved you from the day you were born, and I miss you, and I don't like what you're doing at all to these poor people. I would love it if you would come home so that we can help you. You weren't raised like this, and it makes me so sad.
This has gotten worse than I think y'all may
It's a lady in pain
realize.
right there. It's just
Let's
like,
take a look at Amy with a defenseless animal.
No.
okay, I'm gonna pause this for a second. Give me just a second. I'm gonna preview this before I play it, because if it's because I don't know.
I'm not gonna watch.
No, I'm previewing it first. Yeah, I'm not showing it right now. Nope, not showing that. Nope, definitely not showing it. Nope, nope. I'm not gonna show it. I'm previewing it, and
Like, how did it make it on Dr. Phil? Kind of bad.
yeah, I mean, I could see where it would. Basically, she looks like she's playing with the cat, and then she starts like yanking the cat around violently, and the cat looks like it's fighting her a bit. It's not pleasant to see, and I wouldn't do that to you guys. Sorry about that. If you want to see it, you can always watch the Dr. Phil interview if you're really interested in watching a kitty get shaken. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of love for cats, but I also don't have love for cruelty to animals. So, I mean, let's put it this way: I won't swerve my car to miss a cat, but I won't swerve to hit a cat. Does that make sense?
Caper has a great idea for the next time you think we should do a woman.
We have a lunatic cult leader in Canada. Her name is Romana Diluo. Claims to be in touch with aliens. Calls herself Queen of Canada. Her followers are growing at an alarming rate. Cool. I'll keep that one in mind, because that could be a really interesting. And seeing that this is the month of October, and Caitlin had discussed this with me on our last stream, was like, I said, well, why don't I just do a whole month of nothing but women cult leaders? And she was like, yes, I'm there for it. So a whole month of female cult leaders. So this would be a good one. We'll definitely see about getting it covered. I'll do a little more research into it and see where it's at. Thank you very much. I'll check it out.
Amy, everybody does something for a payoff. What is the possible payoff for abusing a helpless animal?
I feel I was giving my cat discipline. I picked her up by the back of the neck, which is the same as her mother, her cat mother, and
She
I was
did.
just reprimanding her. And again,
No.
we're looking at things out of context and bits and pieces.
Well, we'll take time. Put that in context for us.
If they start showing it again, we start showing it again. We'll take time, put it in context. Okay. Med beds are coming soon. Well, claims the med beds are coming soon. I don't know what med beds are, but okay. We'll check that out.
I mean, I was reprimanding my cat. I was giving my cat discipline, and I grabbed her by the back of the head. Just
I've done that to my wife. Had a cat. It was cool, Sister Ray. And yeah, I would grab her by the scruff of her neck whenever she would start like really misbehaving. And she didn't like that a whole lot. And then once I would like reprimand her, which was pretty much just getting her to stop, she would chill out a little bit, and then I'd rub her neck and she would chill out and be calm. So it's nothing wrong with if a cat is coming up to you and like digging her claws into you, and instead of like knocking them halfway across the room, you just like, nope.
Yeah. I mean,
There's
she's not wrong. That is how mother cats do pick up their baby, but not then shake them vigorously or violently. That
Yeah.
there's a point where you crossed the very thick line.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a dog that has anxiety, and he'll just sit there and lick. And if you get him, if you grab his jaw up and to get him to stop, he'll bite your hand. And so I have to usually, tap him, and I'll usually just tap him on the side of his head, and he'll look at me, and he'll go back, and I'll tap him again. And he'll look at me, and I'll tap him again. And he'll look at me. And then once I've got him distracted enough, then I'll grab a hold of his paws, and he's just like, I want to get to him, and he'll start fighting, but it distracts him enough to break that kind of energy, that neurotic energy that he's got for licking his feet. And whenever I say this is on two different meds that are supposed to calm him and remove a lot of that anxiety. It's bad. It's bad. I feel bad for the dog.
just like her mother. That was all. Just like how we have to discipline our children.
Oh.
Is that Bruce Jenner?
I think Bruce Jenner's hair is a little bit lighter, but I mean, similar.
By putting him in a dark closet.
Okay, that was for timeout. Yes.
Yeah.
Timeout is for your
Yeah, see, that's the same guy, I think. Remember you were saying you thought he was not wearing
Yeah.
pants?
own
He's got
personal
shorts on.
reflection so that you can reflect on yourself and become a greater being for that.
Did it
That-
sound
that's my
like that child was reflecting in that closet, or did it sound like that child was terrorized?
I just think the kid was probably pretty pissed off being put in the closet. A little scared. I would
In a
think.
dark closet? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like being in dark closets.
And it seemed like the kid was laughing the second time they put him in there. Like, yeah. So I don't know. I couldn't really tell.
That was his first moment of being disciplined. He was not used to being in timeout. He wasn't used to being disciplined.
And where did you learn about timeout?
Where I learned that from is my own children. And I knew that spanking children was incorrect. I didn't feel that was right. There had to be another way to
So-
discipline the children.
Imprisoning a child in a dark, confined closet is better than spanking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's either that or, you give them swirlies. I mean, isn't that not how you raise
You
kids?
know who she is? She's Trunchbull from Matilda.
Yes.
She has a closet with spikes in it. And that's where she sends her kids for timeout. That is who she is. I just figured this out. We could pack this up and go home.
Well, Hal hit it right though. They need more closets in movie theaters and restaurants. Or how about just less kids? Yeah, that's what they make babysitters for. Just saying. If it's a kids movie, I understand. That's if you're going to a kids movie, expect there's going to be kids there screaming and hollering, making noise. You don't take kids to go see The Pianist or some dark movie like Halloween. You don't take kids to that kind of stuff. Unless you just want them scared to death.
I know what a swirly is.
She knows what a swirly is. She was ignoring me.
I only gave my brother like 3 of them.
He survived.
He was fine.
Maybe.
He ended up in the Navy. He really liked the water.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Besides
Wait. What's that? Okay.
spanking now. And so that was my response.
Well, let me ask you about that after the break. We're going to find out why one cult expert says Amy is one of the nastiest cult leaders out there.
That's the look of nastiness right there.
And he's met a lot. We'll talk to him next.
The God of me has what she's doing.
Being a child who is
In closing, Ross, he's the CEO of Cult Education Institute and the author of Cults Inside Out for his take on Love Has Won.
Looks like he has a turtleneck on. I don't know if I trust people with turtlenecks.
I want to read his book.
I think that would be interesting. Fast group. Shame on you.
And how these families can move forward. I've worked with Rick before. It's good to see you again, Rick. How you doing?
Just fine. Thank you, Dr. Phil.
Rick, what's your level of concern about this organization?
Well, I think this is a particularly pernicious group. I mean, this is a group that
All right, so that's Rick Allen, author of Cults Inside Out. Dun dun dun. Rick Allen Ross.
kind of operates a bait and switch online. They recruit people online and then they bring them into a very tight-knit, cloistered kind of community.
Well, if anybody wants to join the nuts, we're tight knit. You have to spread the word around. If you can add 5 subs to both Caitlin and I, then you move up in rank, and whenever you get 100 people under the pyramid, it's not really a pyramid, it's more like an upside down triangle with you at the bottom, and you work all those people in there, and you get enough people, they fill up the bowl of nuts, and it overflows, and you reap all the rewards of those nuts. Sounds good, doesn't it, Caitlin? I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
bad at
We
this.
have
I'm
a
bad at
squirrel that comes and picks all the nuts, and then he goes and digs them and plants them randomly so trees can grow. And then we have forest nuts.
forest nuts. Like, that's dark. It's dark, Caitlin. Very dark.
In which they have control over the environment, their sleep, their work habits, and so on. And I think that Amy is reinforced by all these people around her. And it sounds to me like she can do nothing wrong. That no matter what Amy does or says, it's reinforced by the group as right, as godlike. And in fact, to disagree with Amy is to disagree with God. And so Amy herself rationalizes everything. The group reinforces that. And many of the people who lead destructive cults have been described as narcissistic, psychopaths, sociopaths, incapable of reflection and really having a sense of conscience about what they do. And I see a pattern of that and quite a bit more in this particular group.
Well, one of the things that we often see with these pathological leaders is the
Probably doesn't
grandiose
react
idea
well with her
of who
radiation
they are
treatment.
and what they can achieve. And in this situation, she says she's God. I mean, I don't know how more grandiose you can get than God. 500 plus lives, excessive admiration, sense of entitlement, exploitive others, this exaggerated sense of power with spiritual surgeries and healings. I mean, I guess the only thing I can say about Mother God is she's just not very interesting because she's not very creative.
Damn.
She's just like, boom. She's not very creative for a cult leader.
Boom. Roasted.
Oh, God. It's like me. I'm not very creative for a cult leader. Don't worry. I don't do faith healings at all. If you come to me with pain and suffering, you'll leave with pain and suffering. And probably,
Maybe a little bit more.
maybe a few dollars short of pain and suffering, too. I'm sorry.
But
I'm
always
bad.
leaving with a few more laughs.
I hope so. At least a couple of chuckles, and chuckles, not the clown chuckles. Don't leave with chuckles. He's my own personal clown.
Just seems very destructive, but it's just kind of a not very interesting, creative embodiment of this arrogant entitlement.
Well, and it's not a very unique group. I mean, there have been a number of women who have led groups and a number of men who have described themselves as godlike or God. There was a woman, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, who led a group called the Church Universal and Triumphant. She was called Guru Ma or Mother. And there is a group called from South Korea, the Mission Society Church of God, and they call their leader Mother God. So will the real Mother God please stand up?
But she's paralyzed. She can't stand up. You're muted.
Am I really muted?
No. You were just. I thought you were laughing really loud. Yeah, but the real Mother God stand up. Say that to a paralyzed woman. I can't stand up, you asshole.
Look at her face. She's like, that was not a funny joke.
I thought it was pretty funny. I'm laughing.
Because there are a number of leaders who claim these same things as Amy does. But what you can see is how it empowers Amy over the group and puts her in a position where she cannot be questioned. And she herself solicits people to surrender. To surrender to who? To surrender to her authority, her absolute knowledge that cannot be questioned. And so Amy has got a pretty comfortable existence in a kind of bubble in which her narcissism is repeatedly reinforced. And whatever she wants, whatever her whim may be, it's given to her by the group. She lives a comfortable life, and I don't see how she is motivated, other than a conscience, which she doesn't seem to possess, to stop it all and to step out of the bubble and to deal with her children, her family, and real life.
Harsh.
Was chicken.
And
Harsh,
later,
but
My vision
the truth
was chicken parmesan. So the Adams turn around on me and get me meatballs.
I'm so emotional.
was that her leg up in the air?
Parmesan.
Yeah. That's her leg.
Meatballs.
Is that before or
Was
after she's
chicken
paralyzed? Because I don't
parmesan.
think you can move your legs
So
like that if you're paralyzed.
Adams.
Well, of course. This is probably before. This is some old video footage.
Okay.
You're not connected.
I've been witnessing in every way.
who claims that she is Mother God. And Rick Ross, I was just talking about whether or not she holds herself out to be above others. And when I say it's not very interesting or creative, the pattern is anybody that criticizes is the enemy and non-believers are lashed out at. She actually says people that don't believe are killing her slowly. And we heard her rant of calling them every foul name in the book, people that don't believe in her. So, I mean, it's like 101 for grandiose, narcissistic, pathological leaders, just right down the line. Like, there's just nothing creative here. It's just destructive.
It's a we they mentality.
Yep.
The group and Amy are the elite. They are right. Everyone else is wrong. And the imperative is to get right, get with Amy and move to where Mother God is and serve Mother God. And so anyone that doubts her is labeled in a negative way. And as you can see, people who decide to leave, which is the only way they can vote in this kind of dictatorship, they are stigmatized as being very bad people, people that have not lived up to their potential, people that have failed. And the one person who is never criticized, there is no critique, there is no questioning, is Amy. Amy is always right. And if you disagree with Amy, you're wrong.
Amy, what do you say?
I feel it's completely incorrect. What I actually share with everybody is not to surrender to me. I've never said that, to surrender to me. I just say surrender to love and yourself. And whatever your soul and your heart shares with you to do, that's what you do.
But you tell them you're God. You're actually God. You hung on the cross. You recall being crucified on the cross.
And I do agree with what she was saying. She was saying surrender to love, but she was never saying surrender to me. She was saying
That's
surrender
not true, though. She said surrender to mother when she was talking to the child.
to the child, but she was what her general philosophy is, what she's been saying is surrender to love. We know she's full of shit already, but I'm just saying that in her mind, she's not saying surrender to me.
Also, I missed my chance because I was pouring myself a cup of Coke Zero. She is telling people who don't believe in her that they are killing her slowly.
Mhm.
What is she, Tinkerbell? Do we
Well,
need
no,
to clap in order to keep her alive?
Yes. Stop going against her. You're killing Mother Earth so much. You're killing her. Woe is me. Woe is me. You know what this deserves. This deserves Sith Jesus. Surrender to me. I'm your Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Father God.
I'm Father God.
Amy, I am your father.
Son, and Holy Ghost.
And that you are God.
In truth, we are all God.
That's not what you say. You don't say you're all God. You say, I am Mother God.
I am Mother God, but we are all God.
Yeah, but Amy, in the live streams, which I've watched quite a bit of your, live streams, people talking about you. They talk about the importance of your work, focusing on you, subordinating themselves
There you
to
go, Mother
you.
God. This is for you.
So if you're not encouraging them to completely surrender to you and to obey you and to be submissive to you and submit to your orders, your ideas, etc., then why are they repeatedly saying this in the live streams?
I encourage them to follow their own heart and to serve love.
You create this dichotomy where either you are with God, or you are wrong. You are in a very negative existence. And you also create this kind of
You can see
urgency
her getting
that
pissed right
something is
now.
going to happen, that people need to come and be with you. They need to listen to what you have to say, because you will not be here for long, and the world is going through a particular crisis that you feel you address, you alone, and that people need to cleave to you and depend upon you. It seems to me you engender dependency upon you as an absolute leader. And that can.
Okay, wait. We've
Caitlin,
gotta let's break down her face, her body language just a little bit here, because me just trying to mimic her face, I had a lot of expressions and moods that I had to like try to convey, and it's anger, and it's like false empathy and fake. I mean, she's got her hand on her heart because she's like, I hear what you're saying, but you're wrong, and I'm going to explain why you're wrong. But her face is very tight up here. She's crunched up, and she's like, and you can see it here too in her nose where she's crunched up and she's just angry about what he's saying, and she's just growing this vitriol inside of her. And then just a little bit in her mouth, she's got that downturned mouth just to try to soften her face up a little bit. It's not helping. She just looks angry.
Yeah, she does.
And that's what I've learned from behavioral analysts.
Yeah. And I have no baseline, so I couldn't tell you.
Can be seen by anybody watching your live streams through Facebook or YouTube.
Well, I have another question for Amy when we come back, and I want to give Hope and Aurora an opportunity to. She's really good.
Oh yeah, let's let Hope and Aurora talk some
I
more.
believe that
Yeah.
she is exploiting others, and I think I have a really good example of how I believe that's true.
My vision was chicken parmesan. So the Adams turn around on me and get me meatballs. I didn't say meat.
Do you think she's naked? Showing her her baby maker.
We're gonna go with no because I don't need that image.
Bet she is.
Probably.
That's why he's sitting there going, I see your baby maker right there, sweet cheeks. It ain't nothing to look at, but I'm not going to stop looking.
Balls.
It's probably more like
I love meatballs.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that. Chicken parmesan. I get up every moment by you whores. My Adams. I'm like, I just need a tequila. Like, it takes like 5 rounds of whores to get me a tequila. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know what? You can take your half-ass God and shove it. I'm gonna take another tequila shot. I'll do that. Bitch. Where's my tequila shot? It's called evolution. Bitch. Evolution! Bitches!
That be-
That's like just drunk, rambling, ranting person.
Now I've been hangry, but never have I ever acted like that.
No. My wife has seen me like really, really, really drunk, and that takes a lot for me. Just get me really, really drunk. And she's like, "You're such a happy, bless you, Caitlin, bless you. You were such a happy drunk that it's awesome because I don't get angry. I'm just sort of like, you think I'm chill? Like I hear people say, "Oh, you seem pretty chill." It's like when you get me drunk, I get really fucking chill. Where I'm just like, yeah, I'm here, cool, happiness, peace. But she is like angry, just like, ooh, chicken parmesan.
Behavior
Now,
is absolute.
do you think different liquors? Oh gosh, sorry y'all. Do you think different liquors affect her differently? That's the question I had, because like she's screaming about tequila, and like me and tequila are a good time. We're a party, like, but she doesn't seem to be partying with tequila. So I want to know how liquors affect her differently. Like if
I
she
don't
drinks
know.
whiskey, do you think she becomes a little bit happier or angrier?
I don't know because any kind of alcohol for me makes me act the same way. It's just a different kind of buzz that you can sometimes get. But I've never known people that willingly, like I've known people that, well, I stay away from tequila because whenever I drink tequila, it makes me a mean drunk. I don't know because I don't experience that. I mean, if other people do, that's them. It's not me. So
Yeah, like vodka makes me cry, tequila makes me party a little too hardy.
yeah.
Whiskey kind of like mellows me out. Rum is just like a normal chill, like beach vibe. I
See,
don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
I
that's
have
just I think maybe it's because that's maybe your mindset going into it whenever you start drinking it.
no, not with vodka though, because I went to a comedy show and I ended up like sad crying. And it should have been a really happy occasion because she was my favorite comic in the world at the time. And I ended up sad crying because I had just probably 3 too many vodkas.
Ah, well, okay. Well, no, see, I don't know because like I said, I used to do a lot of acid,
Hmm.
like way back in the day, whenever it was still not cool. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Um, and and mushrooms and things like that. So whenever I would do something like that, if I was in a bad headspace, it was never going to be a good outcome to that. Um, it seemed to amplify whatever mood I was in. And sometimes, it would also be like friends of mine would notice I was getting into that dark space and would like, say something or try to lighten the mood. If I started getting really dark and deep and crap like that, they'd be just like, yeah, but look at the pretty colors. And then of course I would space off and be like, oh, look at the pretty colors. But I would also be aware, oh shit, I was just getting ready to go into a dark place that didn't need to be. So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe that's a little bit of it. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. Hard to
It was
tell.
totally random and off topic. I just wanted to know what you thought.
I would really be interested if you guys did a segment on Romana. I live 10 minutes outside of Petersburg, Ontario. And last year she convinced her Peterborough. And last year she convinced her followers to arrest the police in Peterborough. That's wild and wacky.
Okay, I'll start researching.
Yeah. And then we'll put it together. And if we don't do it next week, we'll do it the week after and give that way we got a little bit of time to check it out and
Well, yeah,
we'll,
give me
we'll
time to research and have a
yeah.
job and go to school.
Yes. And I have real work to do. plus I've been doing that damn trial stream with Baker. I wish it would just ah I wish it
Are
would
you ever gonna get a verdict?
oh, I got some news on that. I'll share it in a little bit. It's spicy. Not really spicy if you've been following it, but she's
See,
partly healed one leg. Yep.
Paper thinks that video show is probably not too long ago too, is what I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely exploitive. It's narcissistic. It's abusive. Tell me how that is not all about you.
Okay, those words were for my husband. I was very upset at him about something. And we were just sharing an example of how wasn't directed towards anybody else but him and Adams. So, yeah. And I hear what I get it. You're taking things out of context, and there's not a lot I can do except my life's work. That is a representation. Unfortunately, do I get upset about things? Yeah, because I get really frustrated right now. I'm in a lot of pain, and I easily get frustrated. I can't walk. I can't go to the bathroom. I can't take a shower by myself. Someone has to put me in the shower and take me out. And
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get in and out of the shower whenever you're so drunk that you can't move. You're probably wetting herself, and that's like hard alcohol will do that if that's all you're doing from the time that you wake to the time that you sleep. Like being on a permanent vacation. This is why I could never like be on a permanent vacation like that kind of like whenever people talk about retirement, oh, I would just, and I think it was Jordan Peterson that said something about that. And I hadn't really thought about it, but I guess there are people that do think that way, that whenever they retire, they just want to sit on a beach and sip margaritas all day long. I'm like, man, that just seems boring after a while. I mean, that's what you do on vacation. I mean, in retirement, I want to like pursue all this, do all the things that I couldn't do whenever I was constantly working or having to work, whether it's visiting or traveling or building or whatever, for fun. It's wild.
I'm in a very frustrating situation with that energy for myself.
Hope, Aurora, you would like to respond?
We're both college graduates, and some of the most brilliant people in our family. If this was everything that everybody is saying against her, we would be gone. If I were to choose to leave and get on a flight back home, Mom would send me off with love. All of the people that have left have made their own decision, and Mom has let them go on their way. So there are things that are being said that are not true, and they know that they are not true. They come on our live stream daily and harass us with lies, and this group of people sits there and trashes Mom with lies and things that are not true, that we address every day on our live stream with the whole truth, and they still choose not to listen.
And I just wanted to address everything that you guys are showing about Mom is out of context.
Well, I've said after each time you've said that, I've said, please put it in context.
I would love to. Timeouts are timeouts.
No, that's not true. Timeouts are not locking a child in a dark closet.
Oh, wow. Coming up. Oof.
Showing about Mom is out of context.
Please put it in context.
I would love to. With the timeouts, I mean, there's a history years ago, decades ago, when parents would physically discipline their children, and that was okay. But Mom putting a child who is highly dysfunctional, and his mother brought him to Mom to help her because the child was so out of control.
That
And
does
she
not
gave him
justify putting a child in a closet and closing the door. And it wasn't okay to
Hope
beat
is
children years
stoned
ago.
AF.
Do what? Both
Hope
are stoned.
is stoned AF.
Yeah. Yeah. She is.
And she's sitting there literally like,
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, this is awesome. We're on TV. Hey, Dr. Phil. You're so cool.
My mom's the best.
You look like a potato head.
You're setting up a paper tiger, tearing it down, and trying to justify abusing a child by terrorizing them, putting them in a dark closet. Doesn't wash. Sorry.
Well, I disagree, but I'll move on because timeouts are timeouts.
No, that's not true. Timeouts are not locking a child in a dark closet.
We'll move on because we all have.
We'll move on because you don't know what you're talking about.
We'll move on because you don't know what you're talking about. Stupid.
Okay, love. Well, back to mom is that you guys are also missing the point that if she is Mother Earth. So if you had to envision Mother Earth in a physical vessel, then you would understand mom's experience.
Well, do you think it
And that is
might
the
be
only
better?
reason.
Do you think you owe it to her to hold her to a higher standard than letting her get to the point that she's that drunk and abusing followers?
I have been with mom for 2.5 years, and I will
It's 2.5 years too long. Man, you're right. She does look stoned.
tell you she is the absolute brilliant, kindest, sweetest being. She has taken me from a highly dysfunctional place and made me highly as brilliant as she is. You are seeing
Oh,
a
so you were extremely vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that Hope had put in there, we're both college graduates. That doesn't mean anything, lady. It literally doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm going through college right now. I am barely doing any work and I'm passing with A's. This is not hard, people. College is not hard. I mean, because you both have college degrees, which I don't even know that I believe, like, woo, you're just more indoctrinated. You're more easily susceptible to the BS. Like, you were made for this, clearly.
Yes. We graduated college and we like got stoned.
microscopic piece of mom. She is absolutely amazing.
I have spent almost 3 years by her side, and she is absolutely amazing. I would not be the person.
Her mouth is so large.
My little ones, they love me.
The feminine that you see on the live stream every day in front of thousands of people, if it wasn't for what she has done, she is my best friend. She is a companion. She has shown me so many beautiful aspects of this planet that have been forgotten. And that is love.
That's because you're one of her servants, her personal handmaids that, picks her up and bathes her and also gets a little bit of money and kickback from all of the stuff. You get to enjoy the fruits of hanging around and putting up with her bullshit. Because you would never make it out in the fields where she puts all the people that don't quite fit in. So you were there from the beginning, or pretty close to the beginning of her downfall.
And why the
When you talk about Hope having a big mouth, is that what you're saying?
Yes. Did you notice how wide it is?
Yes, it's like it's like a boa constrictor. How their jaws unhinge so they can fit large things in their mouth.
Yeah.
And she eats a
But
lot
hers
of.
doesn't have to unhinge. It's just that large.
Well, wait until you see it unhinged. Then you're just like, holy crap.
people you see are going against her is because they can't feel love. It's not in the mind. God's in your heart. And that is where she has always been her entire life. And how you view these things, that is your opinion. That is your.
It's like your opinion, man.
man.
Big Lebowski. It's like your opinion.
Belief based on other things. There is so many grander things on the horizon for this planet.
I'm telling you, that looks like Bruce.
Has she said anything?
No.
Okay.
For everybody to see. And it starts with mom. She is the way. She is the only person that has been in the heart space. We forgot. And we have to learn the right way. And I owe everything to her, no matter what anybody says, no matter what her family believes, what she did to her children. It's all been higher guided. It's love based. Mom didn't want to leave her children. She did it for all of us.
Well, you have to understand that I didn't have to have supporters on this broadcast. I did. I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to speak on her behalf. That's why I have you here, because I wanted to have both sides of this conversation. And you two have spoken on her behalf, and so you've had the opportunity to do that. We'll be right back.
Oh, she's horrible. Rotten horrible.
I think what you just said.
Word, and then we're going to have to
Oh, it comes back pretty
Rick,
quick.
what do you think about what these young women are saying? I'll let you have the final word, and then we're going to have to call it a day.
Well, Dr. Phil, I think what you just saw is a beautiful example, or a disturbing example, of cognitive dissonance, which is when people who have accepted something as fact are confronted with disconfirmation. That is, they're confronted with the videos of Mother God, and it is in contradiction to love. It looks like someone who has lost love, not someone who has love. And so rather than deal with that reality that these women are being confronted by, they spin it and they rationalize it. And then in the group environment, they reinforce it so that they can believe it. But to all of us who are watching those videos and dealing with responding to it, what we see is someone in denial and someone who can rationalize virtually anything and who holds herself out as never being wrong. And the members are confirming that. They're basically saying, Amy can never be wrong. And whatever Amy does is always right. And it's frightening, because that is a formula for disaster. When you have an absolute leader that has that kind of power over a group of people and who is that dysfunctional.
Well, of course, they don't recognize that credibility is lost when you over advocate. And so I'll give Amanda a chance to respond right quick, and then we do have to stop. Amanda?
Thank you, Dr. Phil. I just basically wanted to reiterate what Rick Ross just said, which is that it's extremely disheartening to hear Ashley and Lauren's response. And I think that they just gave the perfect example of why so many families and friends of the victims of this group are concerned, because it doesn't matter the extreme dangerous situation that's happened. They're going to justify, they will flip what has happened. And then, of course, now we're the enemy. This was a lie. It doesn't matter, that law enforcement or hospitals were involved. So I just think that this group they need to really, come from a place of love. Practice what you preach. So when I purchase a meal for a member that's been kicked out and has no money, and then Amy flips it that was a test, and he then is in trouble, that's not true love. That's not divine. That's not loving everywhere present. So I'm sorry that you all feel attacked by us sharing the truth of my brother's story, but the reality is that your actions are not a place of love, and that I truly care for each and every one of you, Amy included.
I know
There are
that
no
move.
hard feelings. I hope that.
What move was that?
Back it up and watch Hope.
My brother's story, but the reality is that your actions are not.
What move?
Who wipes their nose like that?
Nobody. Nobody wipes their nose like that. Never.
Because you know what she's doing right now? She's making sure that there's nothing on the outside of that nose.
Yep.
Not a place of love, and that I truly care for each and every.
I just expect her to do this number.
Yeah.
I totally expect her to do that number.
Every one of you, Amy
It's coming
included.
next.
There are no.
I think they keep panning her off the camera because, you know, she's
hard feelings. I hope that everybody gets the help that they really need.
All right. Well, we do have to stop. You know, we've said
they couldn't get him under control, and just they've like edited it so much because they couldn't get it under control.
what we can say. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Amy, I want to thank you for this interview. I appreciate you sitting down and talking this through.
She has no choice. She's paralyzed. She's paralyzed, man. Of course, she's sitting down. Dumbass. Son of a bitch.
That's the second joke this stream about it. That's amazing.
I do want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Rick Allen Ross. He is the author of Cults Inside Out. I want to be very clear. Amy is very adamant that this group that she's involved in is not a cult. That's for all of you to decide. But she's very clear that she does not view this as a cult. Her members do not think it is a cult. Everybody has their own opinion about that. For more information about today's show, you can log on to drphil.com. I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion about this on Facebook and Twitter.
And there you go. Make sure you guys, you know, check out drphil.com, check out the show, and you can always
thank you for being here. We'll see you next.
And you can always, you know, subscribe to him and check out his stuff. And if you enjoy his content, then, you know, maybe you can have a serious discussion about his potato-shaped head.
Next time.
Yeah, way to go, Dr. Phil. Oh.
Highway, the group flew to Maui, where they were forced to leave the islands because they could not provide a proper quarantine address.
Okay. I'll rewind this a little bit here. So check this out.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to see if they were on Instagram to see if they were still posting like live streams and stuff.
Oh, well, just watch. This is a good one here.
Over the weekend, residents on Kauai's North Shore protested outside the group's beachfront rental along Kuhio Highway. The group flew to Maui, where they were forced to leave the islands because they could not provide a proper quarantine address. The Maui Police Department reports all 14 members are back home in Colorado tonight.
Nice, huh? Nice.
Okay. So remember when I said, unfortunately, I bet you if this had been in like the right place, I would have known people in that time who would have joined. I didn't realize it was in Colorado where I was at that time. Like,
maybe they were.
And I guess not at that time because it was only a couple years ago. But I mean, I know people who would probably join that cult now.
All her followers look stoned. Oh, it's not stoned. It is not stoned at all. You want to know what was the problem with her? Well, why don't I just show you? So this is what happened to the wonderful lady. Last month, Carlson's body was found mummified in what appeared to be some type of shrine. Carlson's body was discovered and reported last week by a follower named Miguel Lamboy in an interview with investigators. I don't want to see that. Lamboy claimed that he had recently been traveling and opened up his home in Moffat, Colorado, to fellow followers in need of a place to stay. Upon returning home on April 29th, Lamboy found Carlson's decomposing body in a back bedroom, which he believes the groups transported to his home from California while he was away. According to the affidavits, which described the shrine-like scene, investigators searched an SUV on the property and found that the seat positions were consistent with someone transporting the mummified remains. While Saginaw County Coroner Tom Perrin has not yet determined how long Carlson had been dead, he estimated a couple weeks or more. The manner of death has also yet to be released. We'll get into that later. Based on statements from current and past followers, it appears that Carlson hadn't been in good health and that she was a heavy drinker. I was not surprised at her passing, Pofak told CBS Denver, she was not in very good health and getting worse. Around the time of the Hawaii incident, one follower told the Denver Post that the group had traveled there due to Carlson's health, claiming she was suffering from cancer. Within Love Is One, Carlson's death has not been met with mournful commemoration. Her essence left the body of Amy Carlson at 12:22, one female follower said in a video posted to Love Is One Facebook. She is indeed happy now, according to the Face group. Mom has told us all this was coming. She prepared the team and all who feel for her mom's moments, or these moments. Okay. Sharing frequent stories of 2008 when the Galactics took Mom to the ships and shared with her this was a death mission. The same follower wrote, the way the woman and many of her followers see it, Carlson did not pass away, but rather she ascended. 7 people facing charges. At the time of the body's discovery, 7 adults were inside the rural residence, all of whom have been charged with abuse of a corpse. The member who has notified authorities of Carlson's death is not among those facing charges. The same people are also facing charges of child abuse in connection with the 2 children who were also inside the home at the time. 13-year-old girl was under the supervision of Saginaw County Department of Social Services, and 2-year-old boy who is the son of the follower who reported Carlson's death. Both appeared to be physically unharmed. The 7 facing charge will appear in court, blah, blah, blah. And down at the bottom it says, what kind of person would join a sex cult? Hilarious. But, so, what exactly, let me see if I've got the information here. Just a second. Nope, it's not it. All right, so let me get to this here really quick. Okay, so just so you guys know, this is dude abides. So here we go. This right here is the story. On April 28th of 2021, the mummified corpse of Carlson was discovered in the mission house near Crestone. Its state of decay suggested that she had been dead for several weeks. She was 45 at the time of her death. The body was found in a sleeping bag wrapped in Christmas lights, the face covered in glitter and the eyes missing, in what authorities stated was a makeshift shrine. 7 members of the group were charged with abuse of a corpse, as well as child abuse due to the presence of 2 children on the property. A photo from a few weeks before she is thought to have died shows her appearance to be emaciated. In bad shape, with thinning hair and discolored skin with a purplish hue. According to Saginaw County Coroner Tim Perrin, Carlson had been ingesting large amounts of colloidal silver, which the group had been promoting as a COVID-19 cure, and had received a warning from FDA for promoting consuming colloidal silver over a long period of time can lead to blue-gray discoloration of the skin, as well as seizures and of organ failure. This is not medical advice, just saying. What's in the box, Jude? What's in the box? An autopsy report released in 2021 revealed that Carlson had died from global decline in the setting of alcohol abuse, anorexia, and chronic colloidal silver ingestion. On May 5th, Deputy District Attorney Alex Rains announced plans to upgrade the abuse of a corpse charges to the more serious charge of tampering with a deceased human body. Group members were reported to be facing a mix of charges of child abuse, abuse of corpse, tampering with deceased human remains, and false imprisonment. The charges, for whatever reason, were later dropped. And yes, this channel does not give legal, medical, or advice. This channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Yeah, Turns You Blue worked with a guy that was about as close to a Smurf as you can get. Authorities stated that Carlson had not died at the property, but in California. Her body was subsequently transported back to Colorado. After her death was publicized, the group's Facebook page stated that she had ascended, and the website lovehaswon.org was taken offline. The group renamed their Facebook page and the YouTube channel to, does this sound familiar? 5D Full Disclosure, and launched a new website, 5D Full Disclosure. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Well, entertainment part is true. In the aftermath of Carlson's death, the group splintered, and the most recent Father of God, Jason Castillo, formed a separate group, Joy Reigns, with a small number of followers. Pretty freaking harsh. We lost Caitlin for a second. I think she had to take care of youngin. It's okay. Yes. Gotta love that. Absolutely insane.
I'm sorry.
No, that's so.
Okay, 5D Entertainment. Is that what I heard?
Mhm.
Like the YouTube that we were looking at with Winning?
Mhm.
OMG. Now wait, her husband, Father God, did a what? He split off into what?
Another group. He split off into his own little group that is called Joy Reigns. Spelled Rains. Like Reigns. Amazing, huh?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking up Love Has Won on Instagram, what I should have been looking up is the 5D stuff.
Yes.
And then I can also look up Joy Reigns stuff and see what he's up to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wonder if he's still down the crazy path. Like you were wondering, is it just her or is it everybody else around her too? I wonder what he's up to and if we could like deduce how much of it was his crazy.
And how many do you think will discover this, what we just talked about, and have something to say? Mm-hmm. It's an interesting thought. How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go, Caitlin?
I'm ready. We can go down the rabbit hole.
Well, we won't do it tonight. You guys will just have to come back and check another one out because we've got plenty of stuff. We've got plenty. The amount of cults that we cover here is non-ending, and you know it gets it gets fun.
Well, and I love that you come up with these ones that I have and I've never been a huge cult buff. Like,
No.
I was a true crime buff for a while, and I've kind of veered out of the true crime sphere. But I've never been a huge cult buff. I know of a few cults. I've never heard of some of these cults before, and that is the most fascinating part, is just knowing that there's hundreds of these people. Just little groups of crazies all around the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prospering.
Yes. And they're nuts.
Yes.
Shizzy's doing research for his own cult. Of course. Why not? Figuring out what not to do. Well, let's see. Don't eat this. Don't drink that. Don't snort this. Don't shoot that. Don't staying away from all the bad stuff. So that way I can have like the ultimate sex cult or something like that. Like it'll take you to a higher place.
There you go.
I can't keep a straight face to run a cult. It would be so horrible. It would it would probably destroy me faster than I create.
No, you've got to run a cult like Ivan does,
Yeah. Yeah.
where it's meant to be like that. That's how your cult would be.
No, that's where you get your recruits from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to get your recruits from college because, the smart ones, yeah, they would never fall for that. They would never fall for a sex cult. Come on. You're too smart for that. So, Caitlin, what do you have going on this next week?
I am hopefully getting something in the works. I'm trying to plan. Now that I'm past my midway point of the semester, it's all kind of like cruise on out. So now that we've got that, I've got some plans going. I'm working on getting some streams set up. We should have some fun here coming soon. Stay on the lookout. You can normally catch me on Friday Night Live over at The Experts, on Mondays here with Shizzy on Disturb. Sometimes Tuesdays pop off if he's got something planned. And Wednesdays, a lot of the time, me and Shizzy both join Winning Reality for his unveiling reality series, which is a lot of fun.
Yes.
I know, Volstorm, I'm working on it.
Stream, woman. Stream. Yes, and you guys, for all of you that are still here hanging out, just make sure that you go over and give a shout out over to Legal Vices, and let them know that that Caitlin and I sent you over there to go and give a little thumbs up and give that a watch or a rewatch, and see what all they've got going on there. We'll probably be jumping in their chat after a bit. We'll that's how we roll. Sometimes we have fun, and sometimes it goes off the deep end, and sometimes it gets really dark. We've had some pretty dark streams, but I think we're trying to keep it a little more I don't know, lighthearted, and it really helps having Caitlin here because she can keep me from really screwing up bad. And if you haven't, make sure you go over, hit a thumbs up on hers, give her some likes, give her some watch hours. And if you're not subscribed to Caitlin, then definitely, sub up to her, because she's gonna have content one of these days, I'm kidding.
I have a few videos.
Yeah, she has a few videos. She does some stuff. She just because family and 3D world really comes first. And I think it's admirable that instead of trying to push it where she's burned out, that she's taking her time with it and doing it in her own pace. And if you don't like that, you guys can just